All right, guys, here we are with the last day of actually creating our fitness plan. So, by the end of today and even into tomorrow, I'll talk to you a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow. You should have your entire fitness plan completed, done, ready to go, ready to implement, and turned in. Okay, so after tomorrow, and like I said, I'll talk about that at the end. After tomorrow, your plan should be done. You're not going to be changing it at all. And so then after that, we're going to implement it for a week. Okay, so we're going to move into the last section, which is our flexibility section. So as we go down here, that's going to also be part of our cool down. Okay, so we know that a flexibility or a cool down should be static. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to highlight that it says that it's static. Okay, so for each of them, you'll highlight that. And then again, just like we looked at our goal and we wrote our plan to be specific to match our goal using the principle of specificity, we also want to do that with our flexibility. Okay, and so we want to look at what are the muscles that we're using and then where would we want to stretch those muscles. Okay, and so like for day one here, we saw that most of the exercises we were doing were for your legs. Okay, so we purposely chose exercises for the legs. However, on day two, we purposely chose exercises. Oh, I don't think I wrote them in there. We said you could probably choose exercises for your core. Then your flexibility would want to be specific to stretching out those muscles. Okay, so as we go into the cool down here, I want to remind you that you do have some reference guides for you. So if you go back onto your Google Classroom, you'll see these reference PowerPoints. This was an assignment that I had posted, or references that I'd posted. Right here, it says stretching for flexibility. Okay, and so this is the PowerPoint that we used in class. So this should look very familiar to you, and these exercises should be very familiar to you. Okay, so you might want to take a look at those and look down and say, okay, I could do hamstrings, I could do abdominals, quadriceps, gluteus maximus, back stretch, and so on. Okay, and so I might look at that and say, okay, for my plan, I'm going to want to do a hamstring stretch because again, I remember I'm going to focus on my legs. Okay, so I'm going to say hamstring stretch. I'm going to say quadricep stretch. And I'm going to say gastrocnemius stretch. And let's see, maybe my adductors. And again, if you don't know what those are all on that reference guide. Okay. And then this total time here is going to be the total time that I'm spending on my cool down. Okay. And so if I'm going to do each of those stretches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, that should take me about 7 minutes to do. Now, how did I get that 7 minutes? Remember, you're wanting to hold a stretch for about 60 seconds in order to increase your flexibility. And so for hamstring, I'm going to do each side. So that would be 1, 2. For quadricep, each side, that would be 3, 4. Gastrocnemius, each side would be 5, 6. And then adductor only has one side, so that would be 7 minutes. Okay, so that's where I got that 7 minutes. All right, again, same as always, you should not be having the same exercises on each of your days. So keep that in mind that your Tuesday would need to look different than your Monday and so on. Okay, so at that point, your plan would be completed. But I do want to urge you, I'm going to actually change the due date on this because I do want to urge you not to turn it in yet. We are going to have a live video tomorrow through Zoom. I've already posted, or I will be posting the link to be able to log into that. And I want to just make sure that you're clear on your plan, everything's ready to go, and just check in with you a little bit before you turn this in and before we start implementing it. So keep in mind, tomorrow is a short day. And so times will be based on the short day. And so I'll give you those times of when I expect you to log in on Zoom. All right. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.